guys. Let's start. Okay. You might need to change and fix and redo your flowchart and wireframes after this lesson. Well, this doesn't mean you've done a bad job. Fixing and debugging, making it better, is a traditional process of designing a product. It's a design process. Today we are going through ugly lots of interaction principles and methods. So brace yourselves. Um, as we all know, the main assignment of the last class was wireframe and information architecture, the flow chart for your websites. Today we are learning some interaction design principles that we can apply to our projects to bring it to the next level, to make it better. Okay, interaction design and UX design are almost the same thing, but you can research more on the difference later on your own. Okay, the first is there are 7 factors which influence the experience of using a product. The first would be whether it's a website or an ATM machine screen with buttons or a video game, it should be useful. If a product isn't useful to someone, why would you want it to bring it to the market? Like choosing your lunch menu from a restaurant website or to withdraw your precious money from an ATM machine. You know that that ATM stands for automatic teller machine, right? So does that mean we always say automatic teller machine when we say ATM machine? Hmm. Anyways, even the video games should be useful. Like the games should help people improve hand-eye coordination, some problem-solving skills like mystery detective games, etc. And okay, the next is product should be usable. Usability is concerned with enabling users to achieve their end goal with a product effectively and efficiently. So like if the game requires 3 hands when you have only 2, which makes it not usable for anyone. It's a bit stupid question. I mean, stupid example, but you get the idea, right? People should be able to use the product with what they have. The next is product should be findable. The product must be easy to find, and in the instance of digital and information products, the content within them must be easy to find too. Um, findability, uh, findability, findability is an essential usability consideration for all products, regardless of whether they are physical devices, systems, or websites. At a fundamental level, if the users are unable to find things that they're looking for, they will simply abandon. They will simply leave the product or service and look for better alternative. Okay, the next is credibility. Um, in this 21st century, users can and will leave in a matter of seconds and clicks unless you give them reason to stay. Which means be creative with any cost in order to not to lose any more users to other better websites. The fifth one is desirability. Well, it is about choosing Apple computer or Acer computer. Which would you choose to buy if you have the money? Apple or Acer? Well, desirability is conveyed in design through branding, image, identity, aesthetics, and emotional design. Okay, we have talked about, the 60s accessibility. We have talked about airport wayfinding, the toilet sign previously. Um, Providing an experience which can be accessed by users with all a full range of abilities like hearing, vision, motion, or learning impaired. Anyone can be, um, anyone should access to the product. Okay, anyways, the final one is valuable. So it must deliver the value to the business which creates it and also to the user who buys or uses it. So users choose will choose $1 product that solves $100 problem rather than $10 problem, wouldn't it? Mm, okay. Um. Uh. Okay. Of all those factors, you can say the usability is the most important criteria when it comes to designing and using a product. So let's see how people describes it. Okay, this ISO standard on usability describes it as to extent to which a product can be used by specified users to achieve specified goals with effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction in a specified context of use. Okay, more easy sentence. Usability is hence more than just about whether users can perform tasks easily, and that is ease of use. It is also concerned with user satisfaction. For a website to be usable, it has to be engaging and aesthetically pleasing too. So, the last sentence just summed up what we have just covered in the last slide, didn't it? Okay. Um. Okay. Um. Usability offers 5 criteria that a product must meet so as to be usable. It's another checklist to check when you are designing your website. The first is effectiveness. Uh, Effectiveness is about whether users can complete their goals with a high degree of accuracy, which means the back button should go back, green button should go forward. There should be no error. The second is efficiency. It is about how fast the user get the job done. How many steps, how many clicks or keystrokes. As we said, 21st century people will leave your website if it doesn't give the speed they want. Okay, third is engagement. It is about aesthetics, but as you can see here, I put being right is better than being nice. So design with the right color or right layout in the right context is better than just having nice picture or color. Proper layout, readable typography, and ease of navigation all come together to deliver the right interaction for the user, and it will make it engaging. The fourth one, error tolerance. It is about minimizing errors from occurring in the first place and to ensure that your users can easily recover from an error and get back to what they were doing, like asking, "Are you sure to do this?" before leaving an uncompleted page or deleting a big file. You know what, right? Okay. And even when you left the page, the program saves the process and like temporarily saving function that Microsoft Office programs have. Or even you deleted the picture, there is always the deleted pictures folder in the Apple phones. Okay, those would be the basic examples of the error tolerance. The fifth is ease of learning. When you update or when you update your website or app, you should give the users have to use the update or explain what the update of downloading lots of things was about. Um, Accommodating ease of learning when releasing a new functionality and features. What's the description? Okay. Another explanation of usability with less text. Okay, usable product should be efficient. Again, also, it should give feedback, meaning the site should tell people where you've done things wrong or if there's an error. Okay, it should be easy to navigate, easy to find the menu you are looking for in a matter of seconds. Okay, usable product should be consistent, meaning like if you used red color for a cancel button, you can't use the red color again for the accept button or any other buttons for the other page. It should be consistent. Okay. Okay, the usable product should prevent errors. If you are about to make an error, it should tell you beforehand. Like you're about to make an error. I mean, you are about to lose a lots of data. Are you sure? Should ask it. The final one, it should be familiar. It should have the similar functionality to the other frequently used websites, other similar websites, so that people don't have to learn how to use your website. People are busy. They don't have to learn how to use your website because there are other easy and familiar websites to use. Why should use yours if it's not familiar? Okay. So your web design should fulfill these all those usability factors and criteria. But there are more. Brace yourselves. Pause the video and bring a cup of coffee or something you like. Okay, for my case, it's a coffee and beside me. Okay, let's go. Okay, there are, you can say, 5 dimensions of interaction design. Words here means titles, descriptions, readable texts written with letters, of course. The second is visuals. Those are illustrations, images, photos, colored backgrounds. Okay, third is space, meaning real life physical objects and devices people use, like your touch screen or mouse or your finger. The fourth dimension is time, and the next is fifth is behavior. Let's go to the next page for more explanation. Okay, the first dimension, words. They are for communicating information to users. Should be meaningful and simple to understand. Okay, people are too lazy, or I should say too busy to read a lots of texts. Texts annoy people. It should be simple and quick to understand. The second dimension, visual. Visuals supplement the words we use to communicate information to users, like icons, images, and decorative typography. Uh, there is a common and famous proverb, right? A picture is worth 1,000 words. So, meaning a single image can convey multiple ideas. Visuals are important. Okay. The third dimension, space. It is actually saying the as I said, it's the physical objects users interact within certain environment, like mouse, touchpad, stylus, okay, or even the environment you are in while interacting with the interface. The design should be easy and usable when in crowded bus or a quiet office. For example, the bus routing applications buttons should be bigger or closer to the thumbs on smartphones because people would be using the bus app outside when they are walking or even running, right? Okay, the fifth dimension is time. Fourth dimension is time. Time, what do you think it is? Well, it is about uh, the amount of time a user spends interacting with the product. Have to increase it? Okay, maybe some animations, videos, or sounds that people easily engaged with rather than just still images. hmm Okay, the last dimension is behavior. It is not something you can see easily. It is the reactions of the users when or after using the product. For instance, emotional responses for feedbacks and comments. Mm. Now, final part. Not final slide, but final part. Let's get into some design laws with the names of the people who invented those laws. The first is von Restorff effect. Okay, it is also known as the isolation effect. What does the law imply is that people are the most likely to remember an object if it's visually different from similar objects beside it. This phenomenon can easily be seen in our everyday life, but the most seen example in interaction design would be this. Like when choosing a payment method, making the most popular payment choice a bit differently by color or size. So he tries to make the people choose the specific one um, or telling people what the other people prefer the most. Also, another easy example would be highlighting the most bought items in the shopping site or highlighting the most chosen food menu on the menu. Like real printed menu, anyways. Okay. That's the isolation effect you can use for your websites. The next law is Hicks' law. It implies that amount of time that takes to make a decision increases with the number and complexity of choices. It means when designing an interface, you should make the choices as few as possible. Guys, which one is better for you when you are in a hurry? Definitely the second one, wouldn't it? Instead of scrolling up and down looking for the right answer. Okay. The next is Fitts law. Actually, it is a predictive model of a human movement, primarily used in human computer interaction, HCI. This specific law predicts that the time requires to rapidly move to a move to a target area is a function of the ratio between the distance to the target and the width of the target. Okay, it's smaller and shorter description is here. You can read. It is a fancy. It is a fancy way of saying that. To simply put, the longer the distance, the smaller the target size. Okay, let me tell you again the sentence. I was distracted with something. Okay, so this law, Fitts law, is saying if the longer the distance, the smaller the target size, the longer it takes to click or touch. So it's about the button sizes. Okay, which one is easiest for you? Of course, this one, right? Okay. Okay, next law is Zeigarnik effect. It implies that people remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks better than completed tasks. So this effect usually used in RPG video games that the player should complete quests to finish the goal, something like that. So, or this, you would likely to remember this uncompleted task rather than completed one, right? You want to complete this one, like, ooh. Okay. Next is serial opposition effect. People have a tendency to best remember the first and the last item in a series of similar things, which means you have to emphasize the key important information in the beginning and at the end while placing the least important items in the middle of your sequence. Okay, now your assignment, your homework is to find one more example for each of these five laws and effects and explain with only 3 sentences again. 3 sentences. You can also include some photos and images for you with your 3 sentences. Okay, most importantly, the examples you find should be, can be, or it can be related to your project, your website you will be making in this class. Like you can redraw your wireframe with those 5 laws you chose. Okay, that is it for today. Thanks for listening for this long lesson. Okay, see you later.